David, aka Diz, and this is the Force Always. Welcome to the show. My name is David Dammit, aka Diz. This is the Force Always. It says it on the t-shirt. There's the map of Australia, the Force Always logo, the flag. Anyway, so let's start off by saying subscribe to the channel for more news, views, reviews and interviews if you choose. That's how this station works. So if you like to subscribe, repeat the view or even like what you're seeing, just helps continuing the station. So let's get now into the Star Wars news. May the 4th was this week, and again it was a bit underutilized, but there was a little bit of activity. So May the 4th be with you was this week around the world. So to more news, there is, I can tell you officially, a new animation in the works, which is pretty obvious for the Star Wars franchise for TV. It's a new animation. It's yet to be actually announced. Look forward to D23. It's coming around the corner. It's in July. D23, I'm sure, will be the announcement for this. And that will be D23. That's where the announcement should happen. To more news, Omaze, which is supporting UNICEF, the Force for Change has come up with another great sort of Star Wars sort of giveaway slash assisting UNICEF, which is a great cause. And one of the prizes is to appear in the young Han Solo film. So if you want to give that a shot as a extra, that is, go to Omaze or even go to starwars.com. You'll find a link there. And there was a great video put out by Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, aka Luke Skywalker, surprising people at Star Wars Celebration and advertising this Omaze campaign. So check that one out. And so anyway, that's the news for this time around. Views this week is what Force Ghosts should appear in The Last Jedi. That's the next film, episode 8. I think, and I would like to see, and this is not a prediction, I'd only like to see a Yoda and an Obi-Wan Kenobi. That would be great. Anything more would be a bit too much. Force ghosts happening in this film would be almost like Ghostbusters episode 8. But yeah, so I'd like to see a Yoda. It would bring relevance to the story, as Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker is in exile at the moment, so he needs to be communicating with somebody, and Yoda was his trainer, and Obi-Wan was his mentor. So that will bring relevance to the actual story. I think if you had an Anakin Skywalker there, I think it's a little bit too early, especially with the people not liking the prequels to the era. It may rattle them a little. For me, it's fine. I think it would be great to see an Anakin Force Ghost or whatever has to transpire, but I think in this film, just to bring relevance to the story, and it would be nice to see a Force Ghost in episode 8, The Last Jedi. So Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi is my choice. Now, to the reviews. This week reviews is actually about a person. Now this person gets a 10 out of 10, I tell you. I was at Star Wars Celebration just recently, and that was in Orlando. It was a great celebration. Hard work, but fantastic. Along the way, I got to meet Mark Hamill in various locations. When I was flying from LA to Orlando, he was actually on the plane, which you've probably seen in my earlier videos. That was amazing. He was in first class. It was an older plane, but he was in first class, and he seemed to be very laid back, like, unprotected with no security, and I just had this sense that he was a very down to earth, a friendly person. I didn't really want to approach him on the plane. It was sort of a little bit unusual, but I did get some footage. But I also did meet him as a photo op. I did a photo opportunity with that guy. He was very, very nice. Shook my hand, just a little bit tired, but he was very nice. In that small moment that I had with him. And then later on I sort of got an autograph. That was later on in the day, and at that time I sort of decided to ask him by video, just a random question. But he seemed to be, the flag is falling apart, he seemed to be a really sort of down to earth person. I persisted to ask the question, and he really did answer the question. He had a publicist there, he had some security there. They were sort of trying to push me away, and he answered the question. In fact, he was explaining to me that his voice was lost, and I sort of understood. You could hear it, it was obvious, but as I was walking away, he's even trying to still prove his point that his voice was lost. And I said, look, it's okay, I understand, it's one of those things, but it just shows that he's just just down to earth, very friendly, and he's almost what you would think a Jedi, as he is in the film, would be in real life. Just a real people person, a real savior for the people. He's just, I found his character in person welcoming, friendly, and nice. So, not to rate people 10 out of 10, but let's say for this instance, just meeting the all famous Luke Skywalker, he definitely gets a 10 out of 10 as a great human being. A bit of an unusual review this week, but that's my review. Anyway, so let's now get into interviews. It's again going to be a 2Q, which is 2 questions I'm going to ask myself. And so the first question, as D23 is approaching, which is the Disney Expo in July, it's going to be a big sort of advertising sort of forums on Disney TV and movies and things like that. What is the most thing that I expect for the Star Wars part of Disney at D23? I expect that the young Han Solo film gets a name to be announced. That's it. If it was only that, it would be fantastic. That's what my highest expectation is. It needs to be done. It won't interrupt the Last Jedi thing badly. I mean, because you've got 2 movies really coming out in a year's time. Within a year, that's the episode 8 in December, and then the young Han Solo film in May of next year, which is 2018. So I think just a name would, really do it. A poster or an image would be a bonus, but I think that's the highest expectation. So my next question is, what could they also mention? This is not so important. As I said earlier in the news, I think it's a bit of a prediction, but I also think I'd like to hear it be mentioned, is what's going to happen to the animation series. The next one for Star Wars, I'd like to know what is going to happen. Like what the title of the next animation is, what the feel is, what time zone of this Star Wars timeline it's going to be. That would be great to hear and know what that's about, to sort of know where they're headed. And so that's what I would like to have mentioned also at D23. It's a big Disney Expo. I think it's July 14 to July 16. I'll be really, having my ears and eyes peeled for that one, and I'm sure you will be out there as well. Anyway, so that's the interviews this time around. Until next time, as I say, keep rocking.